It's video time, and I'm going to talk about a little earphone IEM I got from First Harmonic. This is a new enterprise by the same guy who did Think Sound, and Aaron Fournier, if I pronounce that right. So here's this little box for this goodie. In the box, besides the earphone, we've got what do we have in here? Extra earpieces and a clothing clip. So let's look at that. So you get a drawstring bag right here, and First Harmonic. Then let's open this goodie right here, and here's what we have in terms of earpieces or ear tips. And it came with the smallest ear tips on the earphone. Let's take a look at that real quick. Here's the earphone itself. These things are small. I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time believing that this thing's going to sound this good, but it does. You can play supremely deep bass on here. One of my favorites, Marcus Schultz, Main Stage, very, very deep. Breaks up a lot of headphones, not this one. Sounds good. So despite the small size, I think you're going to love how these things look. Comes in one color. And anyway, I didn't use the smallest ear tips. I took those off, and I wound up putting them next to the largest. Now, these are the biggest ones right here, and I used the ones that were right next to that. And I'm not a long-time IEM reviewer or user because I usually have a little difficulty getting a good fit. Now, with the ear tips I put on, I got a perfect fit. They went in my ear canals and stayed in, which is pretty unusual. Most IEMs don't do that, or at least I never got the right ear tips. But this one worked. And what do I want to say? The sound, of course, bass is excellent. It's kind of a neutral, maybe even a tiny bit. Well, I wouldn't say it's a shy neutral. Probably similar to something like a top-end headphone like the Sennheiser 800, which is a little shy. Now the IE800 IEM from Sennheiser, of course, that has a boosted bass. But you can boost the bass a little bit on these, won't hurt a bit. It won't distort either. So it's a pretty strong earphone. Mid-range, I call it unremarkable because there's nothing to say. It's perfect. The treble, I find the treble bright on most earphones, and this is no exception. I had a $1,500 FIBASS from Final Audio, bright. I had the H3 from B&O, and that was bright. And I had some other ones that are pretty similar to that. Well, the T20 from RHA, also just as bright. So I guess it's just me and how I relate to these things and my ear canals and so on, and I'm not used to them. But anyway, that didn't bother me a bit. It just turned the treble down a little tiny bit, and I was fine. And the sound out of these is really good. I think most people, if they give these an honest review, they're going to say that, you know, you can go out and buy your $250 earphone from RHA or whatever, and it really isn't going to sound any better. This has the detail, and it's just amazing. And because it has a single driver, instead of being multiple balanced armatures or whatever, you're going to have a much clearer sound because you don't have those crossovers to deal with. So, you know, with some of the big earphones with those multiple drivers, you might get a more exciting sound, but you're not going to get a better sound. A single driver, to me, is king. It's the best. So, anyway, that's a little synopsis of this, what they call the IEB6. So, IE would be in-ear, B6 would be the model number. And I forget exactly what size those drivers were. Maybe 5.5 millimeter? Not sure. Anyway, there's an Apple-style cable here, or maybe for Android as well. And we have a little control box. Yes, okay, there's a single button on here, and there's a microphone, and I tested this, it works. Single button would be, you know, start, stop, 2 for forward, 3 for back. That works. And it worked on an iPhone, so I think that's really good. 45-degree angle plug, of course, is the best. And there we go. Is there anything on this box we should look at? Probably not. It says microphone, works with iPhone, Android, aluminum enclosures, passive noise isolation. I'd say noise isolation is just, it's moderate, it's good, useful, but it's not a high isolating. It's not like noise canceling or anything like that, so, but it's good. And the leakage, of course, is, I don't think there's any consequence to that at all. You could probably play this in a library, no problem. Cord clip, you'll need the cord clip because the upper end of the cable is a little bit microphonic. So if you have this sliding around on your clothing or whatever, it might make some noise. It did for me. So clip that thing down here somewhere so that it stays away from your body, the upper part of the cord, and you should be good. So there's the IEB6 from First Harmonic, and there we go. Thanks.